Happening right now, the final hours of the tax-free weekend. It has brought shoppers out in droves to local stores and malls, all to snag clothes and shoes and not have to pay the sales tax on them. 16 WAPT's Jennifer Ortega is live from the outlets of Mississippi and Pearl with more. Take it away, Jennifer.
Cool. Live at the Pearl outlets, Jennifer Ortega, 16 WAPT News.
All right, thanks a lot, Jennifer. 2 inmates could face charges after an altercation at East Mississippi Correctional Facility over in Meridian. A spokesman for the prison says 3 guards were moving a prisoner to solitary confinement Thursday when a fight broke out. 2 officers suffered stab wounds, and another's hand was cut in that scuffle. The officers were treated and released from a Meridian hospital. The situation, though, is still under investigation. That prison is privately operated. The search is on for these 3 men who police say are suspects in a rape at a gas station. In the video, you can see the men stopping at the Shell station on Daniel Lake Boulevard, and that's where a woman told police the 2 men pointed guns at her, snatched her cell phone, took her clothes off before the attack. There has been some questions raised about whether the clerk at that store actually called 911. But if you have information that can help police catch these guys, please call Crime Stoppers at 601-355-TIPS. Tonight, a Brandon consignment shop is still closed after a woman drove her truck right into the front window.
Well, it was just a little boom.
Oh, yeah, it happened at Julie's Boutique on Government Street. That's on the corner of Highway 80 and College around 3 Friday when Brandon police say an elderly driver hit the accelerator instead of the brake.
Alarming, rather. She just hit the building and her car quit. So she tried to crank it again and it would not restart.
Well, police say that driver may have actually blacked out and does have a history of medical problems. Brandon police say it was an accident, so no charges are going to be filed. We are a day away from an exclusive screening of the new James Brown biopic. Scenes from the movie Get On Up, of course, were shot right here in Mississippi. Malco Grandview Theater in Madison is going to host that screening Sunday. General admission tickets are on sale now for $50. Now, for $200, you can meet director Tate Taylor and the film's star Chadwick Boseman. Proceeds go to the nonprofit Mission Mississippi. The movie will be released nationwide August 1st. The Distinguished Young Women competition underway. In fact, our own Megan West is emceeing that onstage competition. Girls from across the state are competing for thousands of dollars in college scholarships. 9 girls from our area are contestants in the program formerly called Junior Miss. Tonight, the judges will choose a new winner at the Temple Theater. Now to Commitment 2014 coverage, and the head of the state Republican Party says if Chris McDaniel is going to challenge his election defeat, he needs to go ahead and do it. Joe Nossim says his party has already certified the election loss to Thad Cochran by a margin of 7,700 votes. McDaniel's attorneys have indicated they were going to file by last Friday, but now they have been pushing that deadline back into next week. You see, there's no deadline to challenge in Mississippi, but state law urges judges to decide primary challenges before general election ballots are printed. For all of your Commitment 2014 coverage, make sure to check us out on social media and at Facebook and Twitter, and of course at our website at WAPT.com. A lot of people getting out to the Jackson Zoo this afternoon to appreciate the beauty of the stripes. Tiger stripes, that is. The zoo celebrating International Tiger Day. There were games for kids and, of course, a lot of tiger face painting. The zoo's director says it's a great way to teach people about endangered species and what we all can do to help out.
So it's just really a day to kind of concentrate on this very rare and endangered species, share information, do some fun things with the kids, and just let everybody know how important tigers are to the world.
Thank you, Beth. You know, the felines at the zoo are considered ambassadors to tigers in the wild. The new tiger cub, by the way, was in the den with its mom, but they had the male tiger out there on display. They hope to have that little tiger cub out for everyone to see by the 1st of September. Breaking news, the militant organization Hamas has rejected an Israeli-approved 24-hour ceasefire in Gaza. This happened after Hamas fired rockets into Israel only hours after a previous 12-hour humanitarian ceasefire ended. An Israeli military representative says that 42 Israelis have died in this conflict alone. The Palestinian Ministry of Health says over 850 Palestinians have died on their side. Well, the rocket attacks come from Hamas as diplomats are still trying to broker a deal there. Now to a developing story. This morning, all personnel working at the United States Embassy in Tripoli are moving out. The fighting there between rival militias has just become too dangerous for Americans to stay put. ABC's Mohammed Leela reporting tonight from London. A travel warning has also been issued for Libya. The State Department recommends that U.S. citizens currently in that country get out immediately. Okay, it is the viral wedding proposal that's made national headlines, but what almost tripped it up? Plus, a national softball tournament happening in the Metro, the local team that competed against some of the nation's best, coming up. Tonight, police have made 2 arrests in an armed robbery in Vicksburg. That robbery happened at the River Oaks Apartments on Drummond Street last night. 16 WAPT's Hadass Brown spoke with the victim's mother about what happened. Well, those 2 men will appear in a Vicksburg courtroom Monday. Now, 8 deaths attributed to last week's polar blast. The latest is Buddy Pulliam, who slipped on the ice outside a courthouse in Laurel Thursday. He died this morning at UMC from his injuries. In Pascagoula, 60-year-old Brenda Diane Stouffer died because of hypothermia. Her body was discovered Friday at Ingalls Shipbuilding. Tonight, Jackson police are on the lookout for the suspect in an early morning shooting. It happened in the 100 block of Noel Street around 5:30. That's where police say a 35-year-old man was shot in the leg. He's expected to recover. Relatives tell us that shooting was the result of a dispute. The case remains under investigation. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers at 601-355-TIPS. Tonight, we are uncovering new information about a shooting that left an 18-year-old dead. It happened Friday evening on Duane Street. 16 WAPT's Andrew Kinsey has the latest details on this investigation. Today, family and friends gathered at Big Creek Missionary Baptist Church in Jackson to say their final goodbyes to a man who was shot and then set on fire. Last week, Hinds County deputies found Antonio Brockington's body inside a burned car. They say he was shot 6 times. They haven't made an arrest in the case, and they're still looking for help. Call Crime Stoppers if you can, 601-355-TIPS. Guilty, that's the verdict a Hinds County jury reached late Friday night in the deadly butt injection case. 60 WAPT's Mark Perchik was in the courtroom when her fate was decided.
Thanked the city of Jackson for giving his father the opportunity to serve. Also talked about how they believe in the power of the Lord, and that's what's going to help them get through this.
You know, so funny. People always thought because his name was Chokwe Antar or Chokwe Lumumba that he was not Christian, that he was Muslim.
Right.
Chokwe Lumumba was a Christian, was a Methodist, and Antar, of course, often addressed that was their choice in names, but of course there was their pastor standing behind Chokwe Antar, taking in the moments, and of course a very touching time for a son to tell the city of Jackson that had voted him into office, that his father has passed away. It's certainly a sad day.
We want to go back to Tammy Eswick. She's back at St. Dominic, and okay, it looks like we've lost her right now, but you know, you've had a lot of opportunity to speak with both the son and the late mayor.
In fact, it was during the election for the sales tax measure. I called Antar, and I'm like, once again, Antar, I'm hearing health issues regarding your dad. And he said, Scott, you know, everybody does that. It's one of the most reoccurring questions that we face. And it was funny because the mayor always took that question from me in grace, in style. He didn't get upset that you keep asking me that question, Scott. He'd always address it, and he would say, I'm a cancer survivor, I'm healthy, and I'm ready to face the challenges of this city.
All right, I think we've got Tammy Eswick now, just after that news conference. Thank you. You've talked to, Scott, Mississippi Congressman Benny Thompson about the mayor recently. What are the things that he said?
And you could argue that Benny Thompson played an enormous role in helping Lumumba win the Jackson mayor's race. Chokwe supported Benny Thompson. As Benny Thompson pointed out during the campaign for the mayor, he supported me, I support him. And Benny talked about Mayor Lumumba as having the leadership skills, of having, if anything, you know, having burned the shoe leather, you could say, and the experience of life, of being an attorney. And Benny Thompson, Congressman Benny Thompson, a big fan of Chokwe Lumumba, and certainly worked hard in his campaign in the 11th hour. You could argue that helped push him into office.